Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Hearthcenter, your show bringing you the best results out of THL's latest week, Week 7. I am Lotus Knight. I am one of your hosts for tonight, and I am joined by some of the best hosts THL have to offer. On our top left corner, he's been in Hearthcenter ever since the first week of the season, doing a spectacular job. Crazy good player here, coming from the cult and from for the boys, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. His favorite Hearthstone card right now, he has told me it is Galvangar. We have Super Chicken.
Hey, yeah, I have been playing some Charge Warrior lately, so yeah, pretty apt.
Yeah, I love that deck so much. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Our second player here, our host here, but also a player we have on our bottom left corner. He's in Tavern Talk. He's in a ton of THL shows. He's always on Discord whenever you're talking in chat. And his favorite Hearthstone card right now is Soul Rand. We have Geranium Battle,
It's so easy to love Solrend right now.
right?
Um, yeah. So Solrend, for those of you who don't know, makes your opponent cry when they're a druid, and that's
Yes,
exactly what I want to explore in this Hearthstone meta.
that's true. And last but certainly not least, we have directly from F2L land a long term Hearthstone player and THL player. Also, one of the best accents in THL according to a recent poll that was not made. We have the one and only Rebobson, whose favorite whose favorite Hearthstone card that he has played in THL is the Dark Moon Tonk.
That is a card that I don't own. So yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
it's a fun card.
I can honestly say I've never played a Tonk.
No?
No, th-
Huh.
throughout my entire Hearthstone career across every server, not a single Tonk was played.
Tragic.
Well, not
It's
even
it's,
in
it's sad,
duels?
right? Who plays duels, Lotus? Come on
Whoa,
now.
hey, whoa,
True.
hey.
Look, I play duels when I need those 3 free packs, and that's it. And then even then, I messaged Don Date to ask him what's a duels deck. Help.
Man, on the topic of Dark Moon Tonk, though, come on, man. I was literally on the Tonk team 2 seasons ago.
I
Come
know.
on,
I
I
know.
literally. Oh man, I literally played a Tonk in playoffs. Come on.
I'm fairly sure you tonked me at one point.
I really hope I did.
I think you did. I'm pretty sure I was your opponent in playoffs when you played the tonk.
That would have been
Yeah,
crazy.
that was like right at the end of regular season, but I'm very sure that you did.
Yeah, I played a Tonk with Priest. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, we have so much to go over today, and Rebob and I have later time zones than a lot of our viewers, so we're going to do our best to do this quick so we can go to bed and still wake up on time tomorrow. And we're going to start with our Player of the Week segment. And to announce our first Player of the Week, we have Super Chicken with our Hero Player of the Week.
Yeah, so our hero player of the week this week is Aquaman575. He took a narrow 3-2 win last week to boost his team to a 14-10 week. His rookie hero season has been going incredibly well, sitting at 6-1, tied for best one seed record with fellow rookie Genji. Good luck at the Masters Tour next weekend to Aquaman.
Yeah, congrats, Aquaman, and good luck next week. Our second player of the week is our legacy player of the week, and that will be announced by Rebob. Rebob, go ahead.
So next we have our legacy player of the week, which was Super Murloc. So needing a super sub, fish, full stop. decided to sub in Super Murloc, a 200 PR difference from the original 2C player. Facing someone who is 233 PR higher was not a problem for this super sub. He came in swinging, picking up a super 3-2 win over a very strong 2 seed. Now, Super Murloc is subbing into the 5 seed for the team. Look out Gold Conference, Super Murloc is a super player for his PR. Super.
Wow, congratulations, Super Murloc, on your win for Player of the Week on week 8, 7, 7. Show 8, but week 7. Um, and finally, Geranium is going to go over our Pro Player of the Week, the third water themed player, I guess?
Well, water player it is because it is Chewy in Pro. With the week on the line, Chewy stepped up big. APM took a quick 8-2 lead in the series. However, Clowns Reloaded struck back in the following 2 games, forcing a must-win situation in Game 5 against Bank Yugi. Just as their acronym suggests, Chewy did some avenging for his teammates, taking an extremely close and hard contested 3-2 victory, helping secure the week and handing Clowns Reloaded the first loss of the season.
Wow, well, congratulations, Chewy, on a match that I'm sure we're going to revisit in not too long. So, that's just spoilers for what's to come, but I think we're all ready to get started with our first series, Hero Series. Everyone ready?
Yeah, let's jump in.
Oh, yeah.
But
Awesome.
first, a commercial break.
Oh, we'll do that a little bit later. It's
I'm
just
just raring to go.
we're going to do that in between Legacy and Pro, or yeah, Legacy and Pro. So you'll have the opportunity to hear Rebob's amazing read, which I'm sure is going to rival Ron's easily. So let's take a look at what is going on in Hero. And to talk about Hero Series, let's take a look at Teal Conference. Geranium, what is happening in Teal?
Teal Conference, which has 2 of the 3 co-hosts today. Teal Conference is actually looking pretty close. The last team right now is Hordy on Main, my team with 85 points. Next is Booty Bay Yacht Club with 87. Following that is Korak City with 92 points. They do already have a result on the week here, so they should really be at 91 to start the week. APM Yang starting with 101 points. Make a 5 seed out of a molehole. That's Super Chicken's team at 108 points, tied with the second place team, The Unknown. And then finally at the top, no pros here at a 119, but not untouchable with their 5-1-1 record here.
So Hero is having this effect that the top 4 players, 2 weeks away from the end of regular season, if I'm not mistaken, they're getting quite defined here. Or am I wrong? How do you feel about this, Geranium?
Oh, I mean, as I sort of implied here, I think things are still extremely close. Um, how it's going to work with this season is that it's the top 3 teams from both conferences, and then it's the top 2 teams that aren't from those original top 3. So we could see APM Yang and Korak City both from teal and no one from purple, depending on how the points shake out. But getting that out of the way, I do think that the unknown and make a 5 seed out of a molehole at 108. I mean, still Korak City is only 16 points behind that.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound like a lot, but over 2 weeks, you can get a lot of traction going. If Booty Bay Yacht Club or Hordy on Main have a sweep week in here, then we could see one of them be in the top 3.
For sure. Now, Rebob, what is going on in Purple Conference? Any interesting? How is the lineup looking? Any interesting changes there?
Yeah, so purple's a bit different from teal. Teal is very kind of congested and close together, and you could realistically see the last place team kind of sweeping their way into narrowly
Mm-hmm.
getting a playoff spot. But purple's a bit different. Down at the bottom, you have team at any cost, who I believe are as close to mathematically eliminated as you can get on 68 points. Then moving our
Yeah.
way up, we got LeBran on 73, Dad Legend on 82, F2L Black, a bit of a jump to 98, then another jump to Diamond Diamond on 111, APM Yin on 121, and then Golden Wisps on a fairly ludicrous 141, though that was 137 to start the week, I believe. It's spread out a lot more in the Purple Conference.
Mhm.
And the top three teams, they're very close to locked in on this side. APM Yim, Diamond, and Golden Wisps. So really,
Mhm.
the way I kind of see it is we got F2L Black, APN Yang, and Korek City, maybe Booty Bay Yacht Club, very maybe Dad Legend, kind of competing for those two top point earner spots.
Sure. Now, since you spoke of F2L Black, Rebop, I'm going to ask you to give us the recap for how F12's Black match went this week. How did you all fare against Make a 5C out of a molehole?
Well, it was a mixed bag of a week. Um, it was a 11-15 loss for F2L Black. Make a 5 seed out of Mole getting a 15-11 overall score. Super Chicken got the sweep against Neji because Neji forgot to look at what Super Chicken's classes were, and he spent the entire thing going off the original prep without actually checking. So clean sweep there for
Sure.
Chicken. Well done. I got a 3-2 win over 9 Eyebrows. Actually got a 3-1 over CMAC Comp H. Fish lost 1-3 to Skirt Reynolds, who's having a fantastic season, and just PR keeps climbing for Skirt. It's getting ridiculous. And Schubacher rounding things out, losing 3-2 to you kitten me. So another close loss for F2L Black. We've had quite a few of them at this point.
Yeah, that was super close. Chicken, any thoughts on this match since you were on the other side?
Yeah, it was pretty funny playing against Neji, because
Oh,
I had Charge Warrior and he had 3 decks that were bad into Charge Warrior.
Oh,
um, yeah, I think it was just pretty tough for him. Um,
fair.
yeah, if you miss what classes your opponent brings, I mean, I don't know, maybe Neji's just going for the '09, kind of in a race with Pee-wee in that regard, in Hero for Pee-wee, but
Yeah.
yeah.
um, the
Funnily
'09
enough,
dream is still alive.
I think we're now at the point where 3 wins for me and 3 losses for Neji. I'm actually the 1 seed.
Really? Neji can
Yeah,
actually get.
Yeah.
He can actually manage his PR to be a 2 seed.
he's down to 590 now. I think he started at like 700.
I mean, I
Wow.
think there was a time when Neji was a 2 seed 2 seasons ago on HSA.
Yeah,
So
that was stupid. But
Yeah.
this time he'd be sub 550 for the first time, and I don't even know.
Wow.
My message to him recently was, "What's hard?" He's got more top 50 finishes than hero wins this season.
Wow.
that may be
Um.
common with another player we'll talk about
Yeah.
later.
The
Um.
perfect symmetry.
Well, we can talk about that player in another series right now as Chicken brings us APM Yin versus No Pros here.
Yeah, so APM Yin versus NPH. Pretty decisive win for APM Yin. Getting some pretty crucial points, getting closer and closer to playoffs. And puts them pretty firmly in second place for now at least. Unfortunately for them, it was a cross conference win, so not really gonna take points from someone else fighting for
Mm-hmm.
your spot in the standings, but. a pretty huge win nonetheless against the top team in teal, giving NPH their first loss of the season.
For
And yeah,
sure.
everyone except for Trito getting a win, which isn't too surprising because Pasca's having a pretty insane season in the 4 seed. But yeah, I mean, definitely a really good look for APM Yin. Yeah, it's always good to be winning, closer to playoffs, get kind of build up some momentum going into that.
For sure. Geranium, anything you want to add about this match?
I mean, hey, Venus Pomoni ending your mom kid's undefeated streak is crazy. Your mom kid was looking literally unbeatable the entire season so far in the two, and then Vino reminding us that 2 seasons ago he was a 1 seed,
True.
and he was taking some pretty big wins. So here he takes another huge one, and that definitely secures APM Yin a huge week over No Pros here, which was the top team in the other conference.
And their first loss of the season, I think.
Yeah, first clean loss. Yeah, rather than just a tie.
Hmm.
Is that a dirty loss? What's that?
I mean, like it's not a win for sure.
Well, it can feel like a win sometimes.
Yeah, we might say that about a tie later on. I don't know.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I'll keep us moving to our final hero match, unless anyone wants to say anything else about APM Yin versus NPH.
Guess who gets to play APM Yin off their big win week?
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Geranium and the others are going to speculate over that and other matches tomorrow and bring us some
Oh
cool
yeah.
ideas.
Just everyone bet on me to lose. I need to keep this streak going. Thank you.
Nice. Now, Geranium, why don't you tell us a bit about our final match of the night? We have Dead Legend facing Booty Bay Yacht Club.
That Legend faced Booty Bay Yacht Club, two teams that were near the bottom of the standings. Actually, two and five teams now. That Legend taking a narrow 14-11 win, with Isocles losing 1-3 to Sabretooth 20. Starlax taking a big 3-0 sweep over Yachtster. Corridon taking a 3-1 over Boozosaurus. Yellow Dart with the 3-2 over Matty Ebbs. And then Two Star Mako taking a 3-1 over Risen. Really sort of carrying the team on his back here, but
Yeah,
not quite enough.
it was close. It was very close, but definitely not enough for BBYC to beat Dead Legend. Um, Bebob, any thoughts on this match?
Um, Not really. Dead Legend are always like you know what you get with Dead Legend, and that they're just going to continue to be solid. And knowing Dead Legends, they're probably going to get into playoffs on the last day and then lose in the first round. That's what they do.
Sure.
Like it's, I'm always surprised by Risen in the 5 seed. It just seems very strange to me. Quite a few players on Dead Legend, they're just not having their best seasons. East Clare's
Mm-hmm.
on 3-4, Corridon on 3-4, Yellow Dart on 2-5, Risen on 2-5. Only Starlax going positive, but they're still putting up pretty decent point totals and getting a win here.
For
So
sure.
maybe they'll be climbing up after this one, get some momentum going, make a push for that last point earner spot. We'll see.
Yeah. We're also getting to that point in the season where teams can make the choice to go for it, and some teams are already starting to talk about what they're going to do, even though that's not legal. You should wait until playoffs to talk about what you're going to do next season. So,
You're allowed to do it within your own team, but you can't be talking to other teams' players.
yes.
That's bad.
Now, before we go, or not before, we're going to hop into PPR for Hero Series, but the one thing I want to ask before that is if anyone has anything else they want to talk about Hero before we go into PPR.
Uh, I just wanted to quick say that for Dad Legend versus Booty Bay Yacht Club, it's a 3 point difference, and it's sometimes hard to remember. But if there is a 3-2 victory for the winning team, then if that game flipped, that's a 4 point difference. So Booty Bay Yacht Club
Yes.
just ever so narrowly losing it with Matty Ebbs losing the fifth game to Yellow Dart. There, it's yeah, we're gonna see plenty of just stories like that. I think throughout THL, and sad
Mm-hmm.
to see.
Sure.
So that's getting the sweep was huge.
Oh yeah. Especially into Yoxer, who's a really strong player. Now, hopping into our honorable mentions for PPR, Geranium, who are our five honorable mentions in Hero?
Coming from the bottom, now we're here. It is always lethal with a 5-1, and then already starting rigging it. It's Thaufix with a 5-2. That's one more loss than always lethal. Okay. Then Ron Mexico also ringing it up here with a 5-2 as well. Venus Spumoni with a 5-2, and finally Turtle wrapping up our honorable mentions with another 5-2. Uh,
Nice.
Slightly better game score.
Yeah. Congratulations to our honorable mentions. Who actually broke into the top 10, Geranium?
Oh, well, obviously, 10th place is going to go to someone better than 5-2. That's right. It's Snipe Hunter with a 6-1, a 20-9 game score. And then we're getting right back to rigging it again with Wild 9 and a 5-2. Come on, guys. Two-star Mako also above him, 8th place with a 5-2. Then we get to the to Genji at 6-1, another 6-1 with Aquaman 575. Tied there with Skirt Reynolds game score. Skirt Reynolds also at 6-1. Then your Mumked, now at 6-1. Pasca joining him at 6-1. And then number two, we have someone on this podcast, Reed Bobson at 6-1 with a 20-7 game win rate. That's crazy, but not as crazy as Lupin's 8-0, 24-5. He's lost 5 total games in Hero. That's crazy. 2 of them were in 1 week, by the way.
That is nuts. Just 8-0 is so insane, even in the 5 seed. It's crazy. It's so hard to go that well every single game. Um, Anyone have any thoughts, any notes, anything they see, anyone they want to give a shout out to? And congratulations to all our 15 um, players in the player power rankings.
Yeah, who started this Lupin guy at 50 PR? That's gotta be a typo, right? Someone missed a zero somewhere.
That's fair.
Is Lupin? I take it Lupin's the one match that's already happened this week,
Yes.
and that was a win. Of
Yeah.
course, it was.
Yeah, he
Fun
also
fact.
plays early every week to mess us up.
Just throw you off the scent.
Yep.
Yeah, so one of his 5 losses was also this week.
43% of my game losses were turtle. Fun fact. Fucking
Nice.
turtles.
um, Everyone ready to move to Legacy?
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're going to open looking at Legacy Gold, and to tell us what's going on in Gold, we have Super Chicken.
So at the top of starting from the top of Gold Conference, we have Clownstone Academy at 125, Pod People at 117, Defias at 114, Fish at 101, Illidan's Death Knights at 93, Golden Showers at 87, The Stubbs at 84, and Not Justin at 61. Yeah. Um, Definitely some teams that are pulling away near the top of that conference.
Yeah.
Clownstone Academy, Pod People, and Defias all pretty comfortably ahead of the next few teams. With
Mm-hmm.
a 13-point gap between third and fourth. Anything can happen, right? Um,
True.
like, Defias and Pod People could have terrible weeks, and Fish could, go on a 23-point week and jump ahead of them.
But
Mhm.
Um,
crucially, that would keep them still in playoffs, as this is top four.
oh, is it top
Yep,
four? I thought or is there any wild cards or just is it just straight top four?
I
it's
think
straight
it's
top
just
four for
straight.
each, and
Oh,
then
okay. So I guess it's more just fighting for that that fourth place spot
Mhm.
more than anything else, with a lot of
uh,
teams pretty close there.
well, additionally, if you're the top one, you get a bye week, and then there is a wild card in that the highest points total second place team gets another bye.
Yeah. So Pod People and Defias would like to be, assuming Clownstone can stay in first, they would like to take that place. Um, I'll take this as a good opportunity to hop into our first match. We have Pod People, the standard team that's been in THL for a while, facing the wild players who are migrating into standard, and everyone's a winner. And to tell us about the match, we have Robobson.
Absolutely. So Pod People picking up only their second loss of the season. Lost 15-11 versus everyone's a winner. Ridiculous Hat got swept in the one seed by Yo Daddy, which is quite a result.
Mm-hmm.
Starlax making waves in Legacy as well as Hero beat Jordan MG 3-2. Dragon Rider lost to Anubinator 2-3. Wicked Good lost 3-1 to Ninjapple 3. And Sway Bay getting a pretty impressive result, 168 PR difference, beating Tom Carter 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't enough to get the win for the pod people, and everyone's a winner. We'll be talking about them in the red conference, as this was a cross conference match, but big win for them. Pod people, they're still sitting pretty at 117 points, and they did get lost, but they still put up 11 points doing so. So they're making it as hard
Mm-hmm.
as possible for people to catch up behind them.
For sure. Chicken, any thoughts on Pod People versus everyone's a winner?
Yeah, another loss for Pod People. They've had a couple losses in the past few weeks. Because I think they were in first for the first few
Yes.
weeks of the season.
Yes.
Um, a bit concerning. I would be a little bit concerned if I were them. Obviously they're not really at risk of falling out of a playoff spot really, but I do think there is something to be said about, actually getting wins going into playoffs and just kind of clicking together as a team,
Yeah.
because it does make your prep for your matches and stuff a lot easier. um and yeah, I mean, confidence like is a thing. People aren't robots, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, just like feeling confident about being able to win the week like can sometimes change the outcome.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, and to help instill confidence, Pod People will be facing Clownstone Academy this week.
That's going to be a really good match. Tune in next week when we probably take a look at those results, but also tune in tomorrow where Generanium, Fish, and I don't know if JR is around this week or not, but the Tavern Talk crew will talk a lot about this and many other great matches.
Man, I don't even have to make my own advertisements. This is great.
Right? Um, but you do get to talk to us, Geranium, about the next match. We have the Agent PW's Golden Showers versus IF2L. And what happened there?
Ah, man, a lot of stuff happened in this match. Being the captain here makes me feel so many more emotions about seeing this tie right here. AGP's Golden Showers coming in with a 1-5 record. IF12 coming in with a 2-4 record. Both of us really, really, really needed a win here to cement ourselves sort of near the middle of the pack in our conference, and neither of us got it. We got instead Agent PWE taking a close 2-3 loss to Bruto. Crazy opponent. Nails taking a 3-0 sweep over Magnificent. Downtown subbing in and taking a 0-3 loss to Y the Hunter. Pace taking a huge 3-0 sweep over Jolt C. And finally, Eternal playing on stream and getting reverse swept on his Warlock. 2-3 loss to Judo Chop.
That's ties are always so weird. A lot of things need to go exactly the right way for a tie to happen, and we do see it here. Um, Rebob, any thoughts on this one?
I mean, the tie happening when you've only won two of the matches. I'm not sure if we consider that a success or a loss.
Yeah,
It's
I'll call it a
it's a
success.
really weird one for that happening. Um, this was the other player you were referring to earlier. Agent PWE is having the exact mirror of Neji this season in Legacy. Both players were last season's MVP for those series, and
Yes.
both players are now 0-7 in that series. And weirdly
Yeah.
enough, are both 3-4 in the other series, and are both 4-2 in Pro.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Weird coincidence.
Slightly bigger thing to point out though for Agent Pee Wee is that he's now in the 2 seed. He has dropped
Oh
below
wow.
550. So
Oh, the old internal PR doing its magic.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
Hopefully,
actually successfully budgeted.
both
Nice.
still at 550 though. Is
Uh,
PW? I assume PW is still at 550, right?
No,
Well
he's
above.
I think 548.
oh
Or sorry,
wow.
you're talking about the other series?
No, this series.
Oh yeah, in Legacy he's below 550.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness,
That's
that's turn up
crazy.
for the books.
Now, can Nails handle the pressure of being a one seed player? I think that's what everyone's asking in their minds right now.
No, he'll crumble. And then we'll see Agent Pee Wee back. No, he's still going to be in the 2 again because he's going to go 0-8. I don't know, man.
That's the
um,
kind of motivational speaking I love to hear as a captain.
yeah.
Just get good over and over again.
No, I think it's don't improve. That's the angle we're going for.
Nice.
Go for some reverse psychology. I like it.
Um, I believe that is it for us for Legacy Gold. I'll keep us moving to Red Conference, where Rebob is going to go over what's going with F2L White in the Red Conference.
Absolutely. So I'm going to start from the top this time as well. So right at the top, not looking like they're going to surrender this position at all. It's just win. They're just winning. They're on 131 points. Then it's a gap of 17 down to F2L White on 114. Then a much smaller gap down to Muo Hearthstone on 110 points. Then we got another gap, and I think from the fourth point down to seventh, maybe even eighth, is where it gets interesting in this conference. So IF2L, 97. Everyone's a winner after that win over the Pod People, 96. Chaos Theory, 95. Dead Legend, 91. And then Saranite Pain Gang at the bottom on 85. So, of course, this one is a top four cutoff, but there are
Wow.
four teams with 6 points separating them, all vying for that last spot. And of course, there is still the possibility that either F2L White or Mirror Hearthstone just tank. And
True.
there's they're not we're not far enough away that we cannot be overtaken in the same way that I would say just when probably are. If they put up a good result this week, they can just submit Reno decks next week and they can just do whatever they want. Though they probably still want to get that buy you were talking about. But yeah,
Yeah.
the race of fourth is the interesting one here.
It's interesting here because even SPG, which is way farther away from everyone, it's actually not impossible for them to cover a 12-point gap in 2 weeks. If it was one week,
No,
I would be very skeptical, but in 2 weeks, it's definitely possible.
Yep.
Yeah, based on who their opponents are, it just seems very improbable for them to win for them to make it in the final 2 weeks because they're not actually affecting. They're not playing against the teams that are on that bubble to make it into the fourth spot. So they sort of
Who
have
are
to
their
hope
last
that
two matches?
sorry about that. Let me just pull up the schedule here. Um, I should have made that prepared. They are fighting against Dad Legend and MUOH. Dad Legend is sort of on the bubble, but less so. The middle three, Chaos Theory, Everyone's a Winner, and Knife Too Well. They're generally fighting each other, and then Serenade Pengang has to hope that they um, all like jumble up, and then
Yeah.
Serenade Pengang can hopefully make it, but it's
Yeah.
harder.
Pretty much the worst possible result for Dad Legend or Saranote Pain Gang is a tie.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of them needs to win it by a considerable margin.
Yeah. Now, let's take a look at our first match from Red Conference. We're going to look at Team Just Win, who have just been winning. And to take a look at that team, we have Super Chicken. What is going on with Just Win versus HSA?
Oof.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I mean, if you looked at this result, you wouldn't know that HSA, has been fighting for a first place spot in another conference. I guess the Justins are just, I don't know, a cut above the rest right now. They do really seem to have hit their stride in these last few weeks. Their lower seeds are still going strong as they have been the whole season, but yeah, getting wins in the 1 and 2 seed was kind of their issue before, and yeah, both of them got wins this week. So giving
Wow.
them the full 23 points, including the week win. Yeah, you have Pokemon and Skirt both at 6-1, which is yeah, just absurd. Skirt is somehow at even after 6 wins or 6 wins and 1 loss, he's still only at like 160 PR. When he's like over 300 in hero, so still an insane steal for this team and kind of the glue that holds them together, I think.
Mm-hmm. That's still a crazy result. A 20-6 against a team that's certainly still fighting for one of the top spots.
Yeah, not definitely not the worst possible thing for HSA. They're still in a pretty decent spot to make playoffs, but they do. I don't think they can get another 6 point week in their last 2 weeks, or else they probably will be in trouble.
The classic Hockey Boys 3 maneuver. Halfway through a season, realize that you hate the meta and stop.
Very true.
Um, then
Um,
HSA seems to be quite a mixed bag at the moment, but getting absolutely dumpstered in this way, like it's not just. I'd say it's the worst aspect of it is your morale is probably going to take a hit from this. Um,
mhm.
so HSA they gotta pick themselves up and come back swinging the next week, or like you say, when we get onto the sort of conference, it's not looking. They built themselves up a bit of breathing room, but they no longer have it.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is the team that HSA is chasing kind of took also a very bad loss to the team that's basically gotten re-energized over these last few days. So let's take a quick look at Muo Hearthstone versus Hot Zilfs. Geranium, what's going on there?
Well, what's going on there is I'm just a little bit muted. That's unfortunate. So with that matchup, Miami University of Ohio Hearthstone takes a huge win over Hot Zilfs, with a lot of their teams sort of being, well, a lot of their players sort of being in the middling performances during this season. To see a huge week like they had at the beginning of last Legacy season is a big plus to see
Mm-hmm.
as a fan here. Nice Jewish Owl taking a 3-1 win over Coles in the one. Sam C's Ghost taking a 3-0 sweep over Venus Maloney. Tavin M returning from a break of multiple weeks and getting his first week of the season with a 3-1 over Donde. Trito 2 taking a 3-1 win over Chronic, and Mojo Powell returning to form with a 3-2 win over Jim Philos. MUOH Hearthstone, it sort of either speaks in huge sweep wins or huge sweep losses. So this is one of those.
Yeah. Um, Rebob, what insights do you have from this match? Anything you want to share here?
I think the only insight you can gain from this and the previous match is silver is free.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't bode well for that conference when two of its front runners have just been absolutely bodied by two teams from another conference.
That's true.
And it's a big loss for Zilfs who aren't used to losing in such a pronounced manner. Only one player you've managed to get, 2 points in their match.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So they're really going to have to brush themselves off as well. And once we get to playoffs, prove that silver is not free.
True. Now, let's take a look at the conference that Rebob has been arguing is actually free, unless anyone wants to share anything about red before we hop onto silver. All right, I'll take that as a no. Geranium, tell us what's going on in silver. Are the Zilfs still a dominant force there?
No, actually, the Zilfs and HSA, who used to be second and third, have dropped to third and fourth. Uh, right now, the Cooler sitting pretty at a 123 point total at the top of the conference there. All Points Matter has jumped up 2 spots to go to 118. Hot Zilfs with a 107 point total after, unfortunately, a big sweep loss, as we saw just a little bit ago. Hearthstone Academy also taking a big sweep loss. They're only at 102. And then Golden Wisps making a resurgence. Right now, we can see them at 94. They actually started the week at 90. They took, of course, a win already. And then Dirty Mike and the Boys also at 94. The Cult, Super Chickens team at 84 points right now. And Standard THL Degenerates, a bit far behind, but technically still in it at 81 points.
All right. Let's hop into our first match from silver. We have Super Chicken telling us about the really close match that the Cult had with the Stubbs.
Yeah, it was an awesome case of me completely letting my team down. Had I gotten,
What?
1 or 2 more points, that would have changed the result in two different ways. Could have gotten a tie, or if I'd even just 3-2'd, I would have won the won the week for my team. So
Wow.
pretty unfortunate there. I mean, credit to Dankestad. He definitely outprepared me in the series. I do think, yeah, I kind of brought Warrior, just kind of similar to my prep and other series, but I kind of
Wait,
realized
wait,
that Warrior is really, really, really easy to target with certain classes. Um, so I did just get swept on the Warrior, unfortunately.
where you
What?
went wrong was your opponent read your classes.
Yeah, no, I need to figure out a way to hide my classes, just like I did to Neji. So if I can figure that out, maybe I'll get some more wins. But yeah, I mean, the rest of my team did pretty well. Getting, 2 sweeps in the 2 and the 3 there. But yeah, I mean, this does make it a lot tougher for our chances of making playoffs. The
Mm-hmm.
Stubbs in a similar position. Um,
Yeah.
in their conference. But yeah, looking a bit grim for the both of us.
Mm.
Yeah,
Geranium, anything you want to share there?
Yeah, I mean, actually, speaking a little bit to playoff chances, I actually think the Stubs are not quite out of it yet. They have a match currently against the team that is on that bubble, on that fourth spot. So it's really in their hands as to whether they can sort of make it into the top four. And yeah, I think it's just a little bit tighter of a gap in Gold Conference than unfortunately in Silver.
Hmm.
Uh, Also with the cult, we can see Quaz and Sharkbait, married couple, also married in score. Same thing as T-Stu and Hickett. Are they going to announce anything?
Hmm.
Um, Now, Rebob, any thoughts on this match? Anything you want to share before we move into our final silver match and legacy match?
Nothing on this one. Just the Cult are going to need two quite large wins if they want to have any hope of getting that
Hmm.
fourth point spot. You know, one,
Hmm.
one more loss, and they can probably just bring meme decks for the final week. Unfortunately, sorry, chicken.
Yeah, definitely an uphill battle for us. Yeah, it's technically possible, but yeah, we might end up just be trying to play spoiler for some of the other teams.
Hey, that's
And
always
that's always
fun.
fun.
Um,
Right,
Moving on
one
to
more match.
our final match, Rebob. What happened to last year dominant team Golden Wisps facing Isaac's Chaos Theory?
They're not. Long story short, they're not quite as dominant. They did lose this week, 17-7. Uh, Aided in some part by Chewy, it appears getting a DQ win over Mick in the 2 seed. Always Lethal did get um, Golden Wisp's solitary win for the week, beating Lawful Dog 3-1 in the 1 seed. But Icy Clays in the 3 seed, which is still seems stupid to me, sweeping MPV. Risen getting a win in the 4 seed, winning 3-2 over Balfix, and Kotamora beating Roadrunner 3-1 to round things out. Pretty resounding loss there. Golden Wisps are not out of it. They're still very much one of those bubble teams. They're 13 points behind third and fourth.
Hmm.
So still very much in their hands if they get a good couple of weeks together. Not sure who they are playing, whether it's another team kind of in direct contention with them. If it is, and they put up, like a 17-point week, uh, still very much in it for Golden Wisps.
For sure.
They're facing APM and the Cult. So APM probably not going to be in contention for fourth and falling out. And yeah, the Cult is
But
I'm not sure
APM
whether
are
they're going to
fourth.
face. APM is currently second. They jumped up 2 spots. They jumped
Sorry,
up 2 spots after a huge week.
it's just occurred to me that Lotus has put a old screenshot
Yeah, I
in the
I
show
just
notes.
realized I never uploaded the show notes. I am doing it right now.
Blame
So,
Lotus.
I've just been working off a 1 week behind, I guess.
Sorry about
So
that.
take everything I just said with a grain of salt. Golden Wisps, they're still in fifth. They are 8 points behind
Hmm.
fourth place. So, you know, still in with a good shot. And if Golden Wisp or the Cult, it's another thing where they both need to absolutely destroy the other. A
Yes,
kind of close, tight week is probably going to knock the both of them out.
for sure. For sure. Any final thoughts anyone wants to share on the Golden Wisp versus Chaos Theory?
Yeah, I
Chaos
mean,
Theory. Oh, sorry, go for it.
oh, I was just saying, yeah, it is just interesting how swapping out like one player from the far and away, or is it one or two players, but like from the far and away best team in Hero by like at like not even close in anyone's mind, uh
Yeah.
it turns into a team that is 3-4 and currently out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, we don't see that happen very often.
Speaking of playoff spots, Chaos Theory with this basically became tied going into one of the final weeks of playoffs, which is exactly where they were uh, this time last season in Legacy. And then they just barely, ever so barely missed. So we're going to see if they can sort of reverse that in the final 2 weeks here.
For sure. Now, taking a look at legacy PPR, Chicken, let's hop into it. Who actually got into our honorable mentions for legacy PPR?
Yeah, starting off with our honorable mentions, we have Megu at 5-2 with a 17-12 game score. We have Rabobson at 6-1 with a 19-12 game score. We have obviously at 4-3, though a pretty similar game score at 18-12. Then we have Two Fly at 6-1 with an 8-10 game score. And then finally in our last honorable mention, we have JR Juggerlaw at 5-2 with a 16-11 game score. And then at number 10, we have Darkside at 5-2. We have Pokemon 661 at 6-1, fittingly. We have Desharmo at 6-1. Seebiek 1 at 6-1. Starlax at 6-0. And then we have Base Dink at number 5 at 6-1. Skirt Reynolds at number 4 at 6-1. Nebcanuck also at 6-1. In number 2, we have Diamond at 7-0. And finally, the number 1 legacy player is Snipe Hunter at 6-1 with a 20-7 game score.
The
Okay.
order absolutely fools me.
Come on, why Diamond? Diamond's one below and has one more win and an undefeated match record.
Yep.
Come on, guys.
And one more game win.
Yeah.
And then the from 9 down to the honorable mentions goes 6-1, 5-2, 5-2, 6-1, 4-3, 6-1, 5-2.
If you think
Yeah.
about it, you'll
That
just get a
doesn't
headache.
that doesn't make any sense. And
Um.
yeah, Diamond should realistically be number 1 on that list because he's the only player who's 7-0. Doesn't make any sense otherwise.
Well,
Yeah, being undefeated should probably do that.
I agree with that. The algorithm does some magical stuff, though. I won't get into any merits on how it works.
Is the
Um.
magical stuff crack?
Well, I don't know, but you can
I don't
all
think
just DM Donde with a rigged message if you want him to at some point try to fix it.
I don't think Lotus is at liberty to say whether or not that is
I
the
am
magic
not.
substance.
No, no. Um, Now I'll bring us back to our main screen where we have a little bit of a break. We have our ad. So Rebob is going to do a great job tonight with our commercial break, telling us a bit about Twitch Prime and how you can sub to help THL.
Thank you, Lotus. Hey there, Twitch viewers. Have you subscribed to Team Hearth League yet? Then make today the day to be a league yourself and subscribe to our channel. This subscription enables the THL team to help cover the various costs of operating our website as well as improve the quality of our streams and content to our viewers. If you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, you can sub to the channel for free. Subscribers will get a THL emoticon as well as the lovely THL chat pad. So hit that heart button and keep the notifications on to make sure you catch our team broadcasting live. We appreciate each and every one of you. Special note to our viewers, check out THL's other social media points of interest website, teamhearthleague.com. Follow us on Twitter at THL_HS. Join us on Discord at Team Hearth League. Check out the THL Power podcast for power rankings for all series wherever you find your podcasts. The true Hearth legend himself, Saku, continues to post all our videos on our YouTube channel. Just search for Team Hearth League to catch everything previously recorded. You're of course watching us on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Team Hearth League, or possibly on our YouTube channel in the future. And for all you THL fanatics out there, there are THL shows on every single most days of the week. You can't go wrong tuning in at any time for some amazing Hearthstone-related content. Now back to the good part.
I gotta say, the commercial break works great with the accent.
Thank you. That was difficult.
May I also
Especially-
mention? May I also mention one of the most, one of the best ways to really advertise subbing to THL is when the PPR comes up. You can spam the rigged emote
True,
that we have, as
true,
long as you're subbing.
Or do that during Player of the Week.
true.
Sure.
I see.
Spam it whenever you want.
Well, being in the chat for Player of the Week has been a fun thing recently, but that said, I will move us to Pro Conference before, or to Pro Series before it is too late. And Rebob is going to tell us what is going on in the Pro Series. How are the undefeated Clowns doing right now, Rebob?
How are the undefeated Clowns doing? You asked. They've been defeated. So they have lost the top spot of the Black Conference. So going from the top down, new first place team is F2L with 119 points. Clowns Reloaded, second place now on 111. Then we got the clump in the middle fighting for the third and fourth place. We have APM on 98, Faction on 96, Taggers on 90, and everyone's a winner on 89. Then going a bit further down, we've got Mr. Smiteside on 77, Sheepies on 55, and Mancrip's Multiple Wives also on 55. Both, I'm pretty sure, mathematically eliminated from playoff contention at this point. They're actually
Yeah.
no, they're both like 3 points off being mathematically eliminated.
Yeah, but the chance is pretty much zero.
Yeah,
But they
it would.
could do it.
I mean, they may still be. It fully depends on the schedule, and if any teams between third and sixth are playing each other, it would de facto eliminate Sheepies and Mancri's Multiple Wives, because
Yes.
then one of the teams would have to make those 3 points up somewhere.
Mhm.
Man, that would require one of us to have the schedules. It's me. So it looks like third through six here. Everyone's winner faces Smite Side, so that's somewhere in there. That's unfortunate for them. And then we've got Taggers versus Faction. That's also in the third to sixth range. That's about it though.
Yep. So I
That's
think
great.
that the schedule by itself rules out Sheepies and Mancri's Multiple Wives.
Yeah. Also, just as a note, F2L and Faction still have to take their bye weeks. Faction is taking it this week, and F2L was taking it next week. That's why we put F2L as technically in second, because we look at points per week when we look at the images that we put on top instead of looking at straightforward points.
No, I'm just I'm just enjoying being in first place. Don't take this away from me.
Stop the
True.
count.
um, so let's hop into this match because I know this is the most important match of the week that we have to talk. We have the Clowns Reloaded facing Avenging Prophet Murabi, and the team with 3 GMs lost. To tell us about this match, we have Super Chicken. Chicken, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, what's the good of having GMs on your team if they lose? Yeah, Bank Yugi and Kalis Luna being two of the three GMs on the team and both falling to their respective APM opponent. ABC and Chewy taking really huge wins along with Magnificent to give APM that very so slight win over Clowns Reloaded. So it turns out clowns do bleed. And yeah, they they can be beaten. I mean, obviously, every player on the clowns had already lost one match so far, but yeah, to think that they could be beaten in the regular season wasn't unheard of. I mean, they did get a pretty narrow win the week before.
Mhm.
And I think if what a team was going to do it, EPM was definitely one of the more likely teams.
Yes.
Um, so not an insane result. APM definitely has some really strong players.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah,
For
looking
sure.
pretty good for APM going into playoffs with a result like this.
For sure. I think this puts APM at a place where everyone's a lot happier and looking forward to them. Before I throw into someone else's opinion, Chicken, we do have, and I DM'd you this, some notes from Bone Masher. He gave us a little poem slash haiku, just a quick summary on what we should think. Do you want to share that with everyone?
Sure. Wait, sorry. It's just a oh, he just wanted me to read the poem?
Yeah, just the poem slash summary that he sent, because I think since we already went over the matches.
Okay, okay. Um, we faced off with the clowns. We fired twice. They fired back. The clowns reloaded, but our APM prevailed. So
Nice.
yeah, thanks to Bone Masher for submitting that. Pretty funny stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, and yeah, just to go over the match order. It's actually ABC and Magnificent taking their wins early on in the series versus Kalis Luna and Neji respectively. And then Pasco and Nails came back to actually take a 1 point lead in the series, with Nails getting a sweep and Pascoa getting the 3-1. And then Chewy beat Bankyugi 3-2 to decide the series by a single point.
Wow.
So yeah, razor thin margins.
That's just so insane. Also, something interesting to note is how little the clowns wanted to face Mozaki Mage this week.
Mhm.
Um, I want to ask
I mean,
Rebob any thoughts on this match.
when you look at APM's lineups, they I think they maybe spotted some kind of weakness in Clowns Reloaded's general lineups. It's probably the amount of Shaman and Warlock they've been bringing, and just thought, Mizaki Mage, Demon Hunter, we can work something with this. I'm going to guess there's some Poison Rogues and Face Hunter in there. So they came in with a plan here, and those Mizaki Mages drew a lot of bans, so I think the plan worked overall because they got that
Mm-hmm.
crucial win.
For sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, APM really showing some team synergy. Everyone submits mage, everyone submits shaman. Uh, Magnificent not submitting DH is the odd one out here, but yeah, a lot of the same stuff and seeing it work just this once.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Congratulations to APM on this win versus the clowns. I'll move us to our next match of the night. Our second match in Black Conference, we had F2L facing the Wild Team Taggers. And Rebob, tell us how F2L did.
I mean, if we want to talk about team symmetry, three of our players brought the same lineup,
Nice.
um, which featured Ticketus Warlock and no WinCon Control Warrior,
Wow.
as well as Quest Priest and Thief Rogue.
Nice.
So I brought that, Cuisins brought that, Berserk brought that, and all three of us got wins against Battle Tag, Otters, and Lasagna, respectively. The Berserk got the 3-1, the other two players got the 3-2. Marty B got a clean sweep over Rice Bowl in the 2 seed, and the only loss for F2L came from Itachi, who lost 3-2 to Seth. So it was
Mm-hmm.
a pretty resounding 18-9 win, which I'd say gives F2L a little bit of breathing room at the top. but that breathing room is much needed as we are the last team to take a bye.
Yes.
So we really want to be going into the last week with as many points as possible. But we are playing Mancrypt Multiple Wives as our final opponent of the season.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking to last week buys, uh, pretty much whenever the team going into the final week that has the bye isn't already the top team, they get ousted. So yeah, you
Yes.
really need to make yourselves a big balloon here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very nervous. And the lineups for this week did wind up being absolutely hilarious. Um, we all targeted Miracle Priest, and then only one of them brought it.
Oh wow.
But Battle Tagger, I'm just talking about my match, said that he was targeting uh, Wall Handlock specifically, and then I just brought Ticketus Lock instead.
Nice.
So, I mean, the stats for my matchup were absolutely dreadful overall. I, I think it was like 30% overall, but I just got there against the Hunter 3 times.
Nice. That's awesome. Just bringing control decks still beats Hunter.
It does. It
Yeah,
makes me very happy.
seeing Ticketus Warlock winning should make a lot of certain people very happy. So time to show these results to them.
I mean,
Yeah.
3 Ticketus Warlocks won in 1 week,
Nice.
and 3 Control Warriors got banned. That's a resounding success if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, for sure. Now, moving us into Pink Conference, I want to ask Chicken, what is going on with Pink?
Yeah, a bit of a shakeup to the standings. Gonna get into some of the matches that will kind of explain what's happened to them in a bit. But yeah, notably for the boys falling down a bit in the standings. But yeah, so just to go through everything, we have Swagoy and Brushy Tuna, both at 106. Popeye's Spicy Chicken Sandwich at 95. UNA at 95 as well. For the boys at 92. NPH at 90. Make Love Not Warcraft at 86. No pros here at 78. And Poem Locked and Loaded at 57. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, notably Popeye's Spicy Chicken Sandwich moving up a lot in the standings. And yeah, for the boys falling down a bit. And I believe NPH moving up a bit as well from there.
Yeah.
Not to spoil too much, but yeah, they won this week.
It is so bizarre that a team in joint first are 3 and 4 with a team that's 6 and 0 having the same number of points.
Well, so go ahead an extra week.
Yeah.
But they still have a overall
It's true.
negative record.
It's true.
Yeah,
It,
Sugoi is in the same position as F2L. They have the bye in the final week, so they need to be at the top
yeah,
of the conference, and they barely are.
yeah, they need a big win this week.
Yes. And especially looking at the other teams, the real other competitors here, EU greater than an A is taking a break this week, which is not a good moment to take a break, and you're not in a spot where you can relax. So, especially teams that are neck to neck right now would be Popeye Spicy Chicken Sandwich for the boys, No Pros here, and Make Love Not Warcraft. These are the teams that are kind of competing with Brushy Tuna the spots, and it wouldn't be hard for them to pass Fogoy if they don't put up a large point total this week. So everyone needs to keep an eye out for what's going to happen here.
Yeah, obviously you miss points when you have a bye week, but I do think there is a pretty decent advantage to getting your bye week in some of these, close to some of these crucial weeks. Because especially in an open decklist format, people do a lot more kind of scouting of what you're gonna bring a lot of the
True.
time. So not giving your opponent that info of what you've brought in a previous week can be pretty helpful sometimes.
True. Although that in the playoffs can be especially helpful if you have basically a guaranteed playoff spot.
Yeah, it's true as well.
Now, let's take a look at our first match. Geranium, tell us about Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich's rise here. Um, is this team back now?
Well, Popeye's Spicy Chicken Sandwich going to 3 match wins this season against Swagoi, who's on 3 match wins this season. Taking a close nail biter 14-12 win over Swagoi, the top team in the league on points right now. This comes with Glee staying undefeated against Lambie series. I looking at their decks, I predicted on Tavern Talk that Glee would lose, and then later on that night he proceeded to 3-1. So uh, being GMs and staying undefeated like it's nothing. Then no Glocko taking a close 2-3 loss to Always Just in Time. Jared Pullet taking a close 2-3 loss to Honest Zabe, and then in fourth, Risen taking a 3-1 win over Myanodon, and then finally, I mean, hey, I'm one of the biggest Mr. Beluga fans. Love to see Mr. Beluga taking a 3-0 sweep over Edelweiss.
That's such a strong win for Popeyes in a really crucial moment.
Yeah, to see how they started off the season. They started off the season with, I believe, a pretty middling performance, and then also, yeah, they started off the season with a bye into a tie against For the Boys, which did not look very pretty for them, and then they've been steadily climbing from then on. So they are making a name for themselves for sure.
For sure. I want to ask, I want to ask Chicken here if Chicken has any thoughts on Sugoi versus Popeyes.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy to see Glee still winning, pretty much no matter who it is.
Yeah,
Um, one of two undefeated players left, and you can actually watch those two undefeated players play each other this week.
that's true.
I think we're gonna be streaming that. Okay, actually, let me check what time it is. I think it's Friday.
I think it's Friday.
Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah,
Nice.
definitely don't want to miss that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, a bit unfortunate for Swogoy, but 12 points in a loss is close to the most you can get. So
For sure.
not the worst thing in the world.
For sure.
Teams have lost by larger margins.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, but also on the other hand, pretty good look for Popeyes. Not the cleanest win, but they got there. And
Mhm.
everyone that lost still got points as well.
For sure. Now, Chicken, tell me about the second match in Pink Conference. We had For the Boys facing No Pros here.
Uh do I have to?
Or not Chicken. Yeah, you do. You do. It is you.
Yeah.
I thought for a second I
Yeah,
misread, but no.
yeah, this was tough. Um, yeah, especially sad because yeah, by the time I played my match, like I was the last one to play my match.
Oh,
So, um,
that's
we were
never
sitting
fun.
at yeah, we were sitting at like 3-16. Um, so I went into my match expecting to get more points than the rest of my team combined, and then I did. Um, Yeah, just definitely. I mean, obviously, a really strong showing for NPH.
Mhm.
Um, Pretty much needed this type of win to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Yes.
I like now they're definitely within a really good striking distance of any of these playoff spots.
Mhm.
They're at 15 points per week now, which is 0.14 points per week behind the next team in a playoff spot. If
Yes.
you want to look at it that way, I guess. But so yeah, they're actually in quite a decent spot now. And yeah, and as for my team, we're still technically in a playoff spot. I think we're third in points per week now. But yeah, we do have two fairly tough matchups coming up versus Swagoy and Brushy Tuna at the top of the conference.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely have our work cut out for us in the next couple of weeks, and definitely need to get more than 7 points.
Fair. Fair.
Yeah. You could have almost directly quoted Ron from last week as he talked about having to come in when his team was 4-16, and then getting the same number of points as the rest of his teammates combined. Uh, seems like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very similar situation. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, no pros here knows exactly how to clutch and make finals sometimes. So
Yeah. Anyone wants to share anything else about For the Boys versus NPH or Pink Conference in general before we hop into pro player power rankings?
Who would want to miss pro player power rankings? Which you really can't say very fast.
It's really hard. It's not something I thought was going to be this hard to say.
Far
Now,
too many places, but I got nothing.
now, Rebob, tell us who are the honorable mentions in pro player power rankings?
So starting from the bottom, the honourable mentions. We got Pocket Tray at 3-2, Ridiculous Hat at 4-2, German Ship at 4-2. Both those players have a game score of 15-9. PWE at 4-2, 16-10, and E Jimmy, our final honourable mention at 4-0, 12-4 game score. Then moving into the actual player power rankings, number 10 is No Glocko, 5-2 with a 1913 game score. Next is Robobson, 5-2, 1912. Memnock, 5-1, 1611. Jespine, 5-1, 1610. Nailed, 5-1, 16-9. ABC, 5-1, 17-9. Pascoa 5-1, 17-6. Then moving into our top three, the Banterface 5-1 with a phenomenal game score of 15-4. So that is, I think that's four sweeps, a 3-1,
Yeah.
and getting swept.
Yeah, Banter has actually 3-0'd 4 weeks in a row right now.
That is phenomenal. Number two, my co-host here, Super Chicken, who's 6-0, 18-6. And finally, the ordering makes sense. Glay is 7-0, 21-7. The top three are in the correct order. Praise be.
I will note Pro is a lot more reasonable than the other series.
Yeah, the legacy made no sense whatsoever. I didn't understand.
I mean, to be fair, there is a 3-2 player here in the honorable mentions. So
Yeah, but that's the only one that I would call weird, other than the fact that this conference layout was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. We have three pink players, then all the black players, and then six pink players. I do not know how this happens. This is one of those things that it really doesn't look like it should be the case, but somehow it happened. Um,
Well, we're separated by a conference, of course. Can't have each other, beside each other or anything.
it's just so weird. I was shocked when I noticed this happened, but it was easy to opt, so I'm not going to complain.
yeah,
Easy peasy.
also something that doesn't look like it should happen, but is four of my teammates are on pro player power rankings, and we're still losing. Please,
Yeah, that can happen.
it
That
does. It will.
that can
Yeah,
sometimes
Pro
happen.
Series is easy.
Yeah. Um,
Pro is free.
True.
I'll move us back to our main screen where first of all, I want to give a super special thanks to everyone here. Thank you all being with me tonight. I had a lot of fun. You all were amazing as always. Thank you so much for being here. We have a checkout question. Just to get your opinions, a little bit of a debate. I want to ask you. We know the mini expansion is going to happen probably soon. I want to ask you, what fringe archetypes would you like to see gain support in the mini expansion? And I'm going to start by Geranium Battle. Geranium, one more time, thank you for being here tonight. What fringe archetype do you want to see gain support?
Yeah, probably going to come about the end of February, beginning of March. I mean, I was going to say Ticklock, but we did just see three people win with Ticklock and Pro, so probably shouldn't say it's a fringe archetype anymore. And I guess I'll say instead of that, I know Miracle Priest has been getting a lot of attention, but there was a
No.
version of Miracle
No,
Priest.
no.
No, 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 no. What? No, 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 no. There was a version of Miracle Priest that existed before called it ran Sethek and
No,
Rally
no, no. Let's
and
move
No,
to
that
no,
version.
no.
let's
And
let's move to
I
chicken.
loved huh?
I hate that deck so much. That deck is the worst deck to face. But go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Oh, I was just gonna say that one of my favorite videos to watch from like 7 months ago or something like that is Zen and Nenanan facing Gabby both on the same deck, and it's like a 30-minute game of just random stuff happening.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Wow, the worst parts of Hearthstone all in one deck. That's awesome.
That
It's
meta was the absolute worst I've ever played in THL. I hated Control Piece. Don't bring it back.
It wasn't Control Priest. Come on.
still
Just static. Just random priest bullshit. Just no.
that deck was just pure randomness. I hated that deck so much. Um Chicken, thank you as always for being here. Always great to have you. What fringe archetypes would you like to see gain support in the mini expansion?
Yeah, always fun being on the show. I think I would want to see maybe hero power mage or some sort of, hero power big spell mage type thing. Maybe get a little bit more support. Feels
Sure.
like it's feels like it's almost there in terms of viability. And it is kind of an interesting deck to play. But yeah, it does feel like it's getting a little bit overshadowed right now. So yeah, maybe seeing a bit more support for that would be cool just to bring because it does seem like it's kind of been an archetype that's been like trying to get pushed over the last few months with like,
Yes.
Wildfire getting buffed, and some of the new cards, and also Dawn Grasp getting that recent buff as well. So it feels like it could get there. But yeah, I think that would be my pick.
Sure. Last but not least, Rebob, thank you so much for being here. Always great having you. I want to ask you, what is a fringe archetype you would like to see gain support in the mini expansion? And please don't answer Poison Rogue.
Reno Paladin.
Reno Paladin. In what sense? In standard?
No, in Wild.
Hmm.
No, in standard, yeah. There's this pretty cool deck. I don't think anyone's really heard of it, but I think it needs some love. It's called Libram Paladin. Don't know if you've heard
Sure.
of it. It's
Sure.
pretty unconventional. I think it needs a bit of support. Uh, just feels like no one's playing it.
No. No. Maybe if they print a consistent tutor for Carriel, that would be pretty good.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. Maybe make it like an 8 drop with Rush, Divine Shield, and Taunt. That would
Yeah.
be cool. No, but seriously, Reno Paladin's an actual deck. You should play it. It's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Hmm.
I used to really enjoy it when they had when the deck was around in the Saviors of Old Doom in the Tomb event, but you also couldn't play anything that was not Evolved Shaman around there.
Yeah, that would
Yeah, that was a
suck.
tough time.
It was a
Yeah.
hard time for us all.
Yeah. Well, with that, I want to conclude our show for tonight. I want to thank Super Chicken, Ribobsim, Geranium Battle, and all our viewers for the show. Um, there's a lot happening this week. There's Tavern Talk tomorrow, I believe. Geranium can tell us more about that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Tavern Talk gonna be on tomorrow. Some of the we talked a little bit about some of the insane matches that are going to be coming up during this show, and yeah, we'll be talking about them a lot more tomorrow.
Nice. We also have not only some of the matches happening on Tavern Talk, we have a lot of match shows. They're still looking for matches, so please post in the channel if you would like to hear more and to play your match on stream. There's a stream match request or something, so just post there if you would like your match to be streamed. And Saku, Fish, me, Wild9 will try to make sure we can help you be on stream. Um, it's always fun and it's a great opportunity for everyone. That said, I want to wish you all good luck and a good night, and I hope you all do well in your matches this week. See y'all later.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.